This current project I'm working on is going to be a chain and binder box for my 20-foot tilt bed trailer. These need to be with me all the time, and I've never really had a place to carry them and keep them on the truck. So I'm going to put this on the trailer, and when I need to bind equipment down, they'll be right here where I need them. It's got a hasp and a lock on it. These are off my canopy cut down project, and they're going to be mounted here. They're going to be used as handles, and they're also going to be for chain hoisting this box off my trailer and putting it back on. Because sometimes I need to haul other things on my trailer like hay. This box is going to be in the way, so I need to be able to put these on and run a chain down through there and hoist that off with my 91 and set it on the ground, and then be able to pick it back up and put it back on at will. The next step in this process is going to be getting these handles on. I'm also going to have to put some kind of a hold up for this lid so it comes up and doesn't fall down like that, because that's going to wreck those hinges. And I cut this out here at this depth to hang my chains on as I put them in. So all my short chains, my 10-foot chains, are going to go on this side, and my long chains, my 20-footers, and all my binders are going to go in this side. Now also, you can see here, I'm always preaching safety. When I was cutting on this box and getting it ready, I was running a cutoff tool, and that cutoff tool blew apart. And I had my safety glasses on, I had my helmet on, I had 2 layers of protection, I had good heavy welding gloves on, and when this came apart, it beat off my hand a little bit, but it did not cut me, and it did not get into my eyes. So always wear that safety gear and protect those eyes. This is proof right here of why you need to do that. All right, I have to cut off this little bit of chain here. Now I'm going to grind off a spot to weld my chain on for a top hold. I'm all done with my grinding. It's time to weld. All right, I'm going to tack these here, 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 and here. Then I'm going to go do the same thing on the other side. Then I'll fully weld everything on once I get it tacked and level. Tack this side, and then I got to move this box around. I put it on my roll around because that way I can take it to my welder actually. It's got that neat foot.
Wandering through this world all alone, living here without you, well, I have no home. I'm like a ghost with my soul torn out, and every day still haunt this house.
This one more time.
I hear my footsteps, but they make no sound. Oh, my shuffling feet don't even.
Okay, the last piece here that I need to weld is this little chain. The lid stop.
Where I'm going, I ain't never coming back. Looking for an angel to help me fly.
order to be able to unload this box whenever I need to with my excavator, I made these handles. You know, you can lift with them too, but mainly it's to lift this off my trailer. So this is going to go like that, and the one down here is going to go like that. I can bring this center it on my excavator bucket, lift it up, and it's on the ground. When you want to reload it, pick it up the same way. I'll be able to set it exactly where I want it on the trailer. Next step in this box project for my trailer is to make it waterproof. Now eventually I'm going to have this trailer and my dump truck shedded. They're going to be protected from the weather, so it's not completely necessary that I do it for that reason, but the reason why I'm doing it is because this box and my trailer are going to be out in the weather at times. So I need this top to be waterproof. And I've laid out a grid on top of this box, and I'm in the process of putting these self-tappers in.
Show me the way, 'cause I can't go on.
Okay, they're all in. Now the process is going to be to remove these, get rid of all the filings and everything, lay my rubber roofing on top of this in the place where I want it. All the tail. What I used here is I went through my existing hole with an 8-penny nail, and now I'm going to pull that out and install my self-tapper. Alright, I've stretched this nice and tight across the front. I've got my nail in place here. Now I'm going to very carefully pull my nail out. Now I'm going to go all the way along here, pulling this tight, and then putting these self-tappers in. Now I'm just going to start that one because it's getting tough to find my holes here. That is going to protect everything. Lock, hinges, all that. The only problem I have right now are these sticking out the bottom. So I'm going to have to cut these off. Alright, we found all our pieces. This is going to be center mounted up in the front right behind the spare tire. Everything is now ready for the trailer to come into the shop, except for one more project, and that is this. This piece here is going to be my new L bracket for the fenders. My fenders are captured on the ends with bolts, but they don't work in the center, and the center has flexibility. I don't know if they designed that trailer like that or not, but I'm just worried about bending the fenders. So these are going to go in the center, between the center of the tandems, and this is going to be welded onto the trailer, and this end up here is going to be drilled, and I'm going to drill through the fenders and bolt these on to stiffen up the midsection of the fender. That roll-around cart is excellent. When I tore the rear end completely out of my 310 tractor, I set all the final drives up on that so that we could work on them off the ground and I could move them around where I wanted them to be. And then we chain hoisted them off, and that cart has worked stellar. That was free. The box there that you see that I'm going to put on the trailer was free. This roll roofing was free. Whatever you can get for free, you take, because if you think about it, there's probably uses for almost everything. Of course, you got to have a place to store it and all that stuff, but still, if you have areas where you can keep things under cover, like a small shop or a few sheds, and you can acquire things for free, future projects are made a lot easier and cheaper. Now, before I cut this on these corners to make my L shape, I'm going to drill both sides of this. I've marked this out and laid it out, and I'm going to drill both sides of this with my drill press, because if I cut that first, it probably would be harder to drill. So now you'll notice I do a lot of oil in here. These are just steel bits. They work absolutely great, but the only problem is you need to keep oil on them. So in order to keep my drill bits in good shape, I use lots of oil. And of course, you let your bit do the drilling. Don't force it. Just before they go through, a lot of times they'll stick. So be careful there. Okay, those holes are drilled. Now we're going to cut these into the configuration I need using my cutoff tool. Now you see why I always wear all this protection. That could have taken out my eye, it could have taken out a lot of things, but it didn't, because I'm protected. I hate destroying them like that, but hey, sometimes it happens. All right, now the problem, I think, why this cutoff wheel broke is because at the end, my vise pushed that together. So I've opted for clamps to cut this side. Got all these pieces, these two pieces that I'm going to use for my braces on my fender. Got them all done. They're all cleaned up. They're ready for attachment. Took off all the rough edges. They're going to bolt like this from the trailer side. So they're ready to go. Everything is ready to bring my trailer in. As you can see, one of the disadvantages of having a small shop is that sometimes you can't get the things in that you need to get in to work on them. My trailer's a little bit too long for my shop. We'll work on her right here, and then we'll take her back out when we're done. Now, even though I've never put this trailer in the shop, these are some parts that I had from another job when I used to have my dump trailer. And I could haul the dump trailer with this hookup with my L tractor. So all I did was I had this unit here, and it has 3 size balls on it. And if I flip it, these balls will stop it from rotating. But for the 5/16 ball, I had to weld this piece on in the front here to keep the unit from shifting around as I'm driving the trailer forward or backward. And it worked really good. All right, I've unloaded the box. Now I got to get it up front and in position. I'll have to do some measuring and stuff. Now we're going to have to take off this spare tire so we can get in there and measure up and get everything ready to weld on our tabs. I was doing some digging around in my shop and I found these. These were made pieces. I don't know where they came from. I'm not sure. But these are going to be my Fender brackets for the sides here. As you can see, these fenders move a little bit. They're very springy and I don't like that. So these are going to go on there to stiffen those up. Now the brackets you saw me make, I've decided these are going to be the brackets I'm going to weld on to the front of the trailer behind the box to bolt the box to. We're going to weld these tabs on, drill some holes and get these mounted. Alright, that gives us access back here. So now we have to measure and find the center. Alright, I've set these brackets in exactly where I want them. They're 2 inches from the center. The box is completely centered on the trailer. The other one is there. Now I have to mark these out and then slide the box backwards and weld those on. Okay, I'm going to flap these off. Let's weld the brackets on. I took a measurement from the edge so I know exactly where I'm going with it. Those welds look great, as well as these. I've loaded the box back up with all the chains and binders because I want it to set down in the front where it's going to set. I put one bolt in to hold it. Now I can drill the other 3. Now another thing I'll show you in a minute is that all these bolts are above all the chains and all the storage that I need in here. So I can get right to them when I need to pop this box off. I don't know if you can see real well here, but these bolts are right here. And they're all above chain storage on both sides. And I can get right to them, and that's perfect. So this job's done. I just got to paint those fronts. Okay, I wiped these all down with alcohol. I'm going to paint these with real good paint later. And that'll do for now. Alright, spare tires on. Alright, now I've marked these in the center of my fender. Alright, that's it right there. Now I thought about bolting these on. That way I could take them off if I needed to, if I wanted to haul something that was wider than the fenders, but you can't. These are over the platform tires, as they call them, instead of under the platform tires. So even if you took these fenders off, you don't have any extra width here to do anything with. So I'm just going to weld these brackets on and bolt them to the fender. So that way if I need to take the fender off, if it gets beat up or bent or something, or I need to fix it in any way, I can take the whole fender off still. Filling those holes up so they don't set full of water and rust. These fenders are going to get pulled in like that. bolt these things. That made that fender a lot stiffer. Nice. Let's go do the other side. Alright, done. Now, I've got these cleaned off with alcohol, so we'll paint those and pull the trailer out of here. We got the box on here all mounted, bolted down. Chain binders are in it. It's locked. We have the fenders done. A lot more rigid, as you can see now. Way better. So I'm very happy with this process. So anyway, the next thing I have to do to this trailer is I got to treat the deck, and then I'm going to flip the tilt bed open, and I'm going to go underneath and I'm going to crown all this by hand. So that's the next step. Till then, please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching. Have a great day.
Show me the way, 'cause I can't go on, except for the dying